And again, I think that's a question that applies to everyone, every one of us right now, because we're dealing in a situation where there is a lot of concern and anxiety and unknowns, which sparks anxiety. So I think in part that starts with awareness of the situation that we're living in, and also awareness internally of what are we feeling. And it might be, again, that kind of stress or anxiety. And then to go beyond awareness, and well, I guess the other thing I would say about awareness of safe practices of hand washing, social distancing, what symptoms are. So awareness about those kind of things, but awareness of our own feelings. And then I think another A word, if you would, in addition to awareness, is acceptance. And to be able to accept that right now might be a time when we're feeling more anxious, worried, and often we're in a society where we try and deny those feelings. Instead, just to be able to accept it, but to accept it and then to be able to, as much as possible, to let go of that, not to get stuck on that, not to obsess about that. And some ways that we can do that is in part looking at what I would call the 3 C's. One of those would be control. What are the things you can do that can control the situation? Again, social distancing, hand washing, those sorts of things. But to recognize we can't control everything. We can't control everything usually in life, and this is a situation that brings that home even more. And then also about connection. How do we stay connected? And we were just talking about that connection remains really important, and to be able to proactively reach out to people, make phone calls, do that through the internet. If you have family members, to make sure that you have those, good contacts and relationships. And then also, I think, to practice compassion. I mean, one of the things that this teaches us is that the world is truly a small place, and we're all interconnected. And even though we're all interconnected by our vulnerability to a virus, but we're all human, we're all going through this. How can we have that kind of increased compassion for each other? And sometimes there's a way to even be able to help other people with that. If we stay focused on ourselves, sometimes it's difficult then we're more likely to be anxious or get worried. But if we think about, hey, I know I've got an elderly relative or somebody else is isolated, maybe I can reach out and give them a call. Maybe while I'm at the grocery store, I can pick up something and drop it off on their porch for them if they need some basic food or other kind of supplies. And then finally, I think that the other part is to practice some things that are useful anyway, like gratitude. In a situation like this, we're often concerned and worried about all the threats that are out there, and that's true, and we need to be aware, but not, again, to get stuck with that. So it's a good time to ask ourselves, even in this difficult times, what is it that we're grateful for? And maybe each day to take a few moments and to ask yourself, what are 3 things that you're grateful today for? And if we focus on that, that helps our well-being, it helps our happiness, it also increases our resilience to stress.